Women are drawn to a high-value man. But when it comes to dating, high-value men sometimes get a bad rap because they're seen as being too concerned about relationships and feelings and don't want to just give up their heart. When a high-value man acts like this, he ignores so many women. There are many different reasons why he's ignoring a woman, even though it might seem rude to ignore a woman's messages and hints, but high-value men tend to do so. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about why high-value men ignore women. One of the reasons is that his life is very busy and fast-paced. Some people's lives get so busy between their jobs, their families, their friends, their hobbies, and the volunteer work they do that they can't keep up with everything. If a man chooses to ignore a woman, it could be because his life is so busy that he doesn't have time to talk to her. One study says that it seems like people are busier now than they were in the past. There are a lot of things that make a guy's life so busy. He's unable to say the word no. He either runs a business or has a job that requires a lot of work. Being active is something he likes to do. It's just who he is. The more he works, the higher up in society he'll go, becoming a provider or a rich man. The girl he likes is already dating someone else. If a guy likes a girl but she's dating someone else, he can decide to stop talking to her. There are a few possible reasons why these guys choose to ignore women, even though it might not seem like the most considerate thing to do. He's very angry with himself because he misread her signals. He's mad at her because she gave him mixed messages or acted like she liked him when she didn't. He feels bad when he's with her because he knows they can't have the kind of relationship he wants. He should try not to think about her while he's doing it. According to research, high-value men find it harder to imagine friendships with other men than women do. When a man falls in love with a woman who is already taken, he can't just throw away his feelings because the woman is taken. He might have no choice but to avoid the situation if he wants to keep his feelings and ego from getting hurt even more. Or there is no reciprocation from the girl's side. When a man tells a woman he likes her but she doesn't feel the same way, it's almost the worst thing that could happen to him. This situation could hurt his pride, cause him to lose an important friend, and make it harder for him to meet someone new. Jake, who writes a dating and relationship advice column for Glamour magazine, says that to move on from this situation, you need to take a number of steps, each of which may be a little different depending on the person. Here's a rough outline of the steps guys take when they get turned down. Letting life or other women distract you from her, putting her out of your mind, maybe by not thinking about her. Now that she's made her choice, she's decided not to go after it. If a guy is brave enough to tell a girl he likes her that he's interested in her, it's likely that he's already seen signs that she is interested in him. If you don't, he might not feel comfortable enough to talk about how he feels. When men go into these conversations thinking they have a good chance with the woman, they're often surprised when the women tell them that they are not interested, or he worries about not getting what he wants. Because men are usually expected to make the first move, it may seem like they take rejection harder than women do. When a woman rejects a guy in a romantic relationship, he may feel unwanted, unattractive, and even question his own masculinity. Men can avoid being turned down by staying away from all social situations where it could happen. This worry can stop a man from getting close to a woman if he doesn't see clear signs that she's interested in a relationship. When he responds to a woman's messages and advances, he'll have a chance to see these signs, but he may worry that he's making up feelings that aren't there. He can only be sure that he won't misread her signals or end up being turned down if he ignores the woman. All men in relationships are driven by 3 worries. One of these worries is that the woman they are with will reject them, or maybe he doesn't care. There are many different kinds of people living on Earth. Some guys are really cool, but there are also some real jerks out there. Ignoring a woman is the act of a self-centered man who doesn't care how she feels. Guys who are self-centered, independent, and overconfident are trying to meet their own needs first and foremost, without caring about how other people feel. It's possible that this guy is just a mean person in general, but it's also possible that he puts himself and his needs ahead of the needs of the people he's with. In either case, a man who doesn't respect a woman is more likely to ignore her because he's focused on himself. Maybe love makes him shiver. Some guys choose not to talk to girls because they think love is too risky. Long-term relationships need commitment and emotional honesty, but these things can be scary for men for a number of reasons, including the following. Feeling awkward or uncomfortable when they try to say how they feel. Depending on what's going on, he might love you more than you love him. Because evolution is driven by the desire to pass on one's genes, there are no other options. Or bringing back painful memories from his past relationships. Not thinking much of oneself. People are afraid of love for as many different reasons as there are people. Even though it might not seem like the best way to deal with, a man can keep himself from getting hurt by avoiding love. In the eyes of many men, the pleasure doesn't make up for the pain. Maybe he has secrets to keep. If a man wants to keep something from a woman, he can choose to ignore her so that he doesn't accidentally tell her. If he's afraid he'll get caught by accident, he should try to avoid getting caught. He might be hiding something big, like the fact that he's married, or something small, like the fact that he thinks your friends are annoying. Women's Health reveals 11 secrets that men say they keep from the woman they're dating at the moment. Even though it's safe to assume that most people keep secrets from their close friends and family, not everyone does so by staying away from those people. If a man is lying or trying to hide something, he might not pay attention to a woman because he's too busy with the lie or secret that he's keeping. Maybe he's playing mind games. High-value men are chased by a lot of women. Maybe then he decided to just play around. There's a lot of advice about dating, and most of it comes from men and women who have different ideas about the other gender. Sometimes the information is accurate and helpful, but sometimes it's just someone's opinion, which can be harmful. Playing hard to get is a good way for both men and women to date, according to professionals. They say that the problem is that men and women have different ideas about what this strategy is all about. Some men think that women like long-term relationships with men who are hard to get in touch with. This belief comes from both my own experience and the advice of experts. A man could choose to ignore a woman to get her attention and get her interested in him. This kind of guy sees dating as a game of cat and mouse, where he has to get you to come out, keep your attention, and surprise you while giving you few chances to catch him. So, how can women make a guy tick? There are many different situations in which a high-value man might ignore, avoid, or otherwise not care about a woman. Women can figure out what a man wants by thinking about why they think he's ignoring them, what might be causing this behavior, and why they have these feelings in the first place. If you're not sure, it's best to just ask him. There's always a chance that the man is having trouble dealing with his feelings, or is just ignoring the woman by accident. But there's also a chance that he's doing it on purpose. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay tuned for more.